Unleashing your inner champion, the power of mindset, forgiveness, and purposeful living. Welcome to a transformative journey that will challenge your perceptions, ignite your passion, and unlock the extraordinary potential within you. Today, we're diving deep into the realms of mindset, behavior, and personal growth, guided by the profound insights of Diamond Harris, a visionary whose work is reshaping lives and making our world a brighter place. Imagine for a moment a world where confidence isn't just a fleeting emotion, but a constant state of being. A world where forgiveness, especially self forgiveness, is the key that unlocks our true potential. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality that Diamond Harris is helping people create every single day. As we embark on this exploration together, I want you to open your mind to possibilities you may have never considered before. We're about to challenge some deeply ingrained beliefs about who we are, what we're capable of, and how we can live our lives with greater purpose and fulfillment. Let's start by addressing the cornerstone of personal transformation, mindset. We've all heard about the power of positive thinking, but what Diamond shared goes far beyond mere optimism. She spoke about a profound shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, a transformation that can literally change the trajectory of our lives. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a growth mindset? According to Diamond, it's the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, hard work, and a willingness to learn. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which assumes our qualities are set in stone. The beauty of a growth mindset is that it opens up a world of possibilities. It tells us that we're not limited by our current circumstances or past failures. But here's the thing, adopting a growth mindset isn't always easy. It requires us to challenge our deeply ingrained beliefs about ourselves and our capabilities. It demands that we step out of our comfort zones and embrace the discomfort of growth. And perhaps most importantly, it asks us to be vulnerable. Vulnerability. It's a word that often makes us squirm. We've been conditioned to see it as weakness, as something to be avoided at all costs. But what if I told you that vulnerability is actually the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change? What if embracing our vulnerability is the very thing that can lead us to live more confident, purposeful lives? This is where Diamond's insights truly shine. She emphasized the importance of living not just with purpose, but on purpose. It's a subtle distinction, but one that can make all the difference. Living with purpose means having a general sense of direction in life, but living on purpose, that's about making conscious choices every single day that align with our values and goals. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That sounds great in theory, but how do I actually do that? Well, Diamond shared a powerful tool that can help us on this journey, self forgiveness. You see, many of us are carrying around the weight of past mistakes, regrets, and perceived failures. We replay these moments in our minds, allowing them to chip away at our confidence and hold us back from pursuing our dreams. But what if we could let go of that weight? What if we could forgive ourselves for not being perfect, for making mistakes, for sometimes falling short of our own expectations? This is where the real magic happens. When we forgive ourselves, we create space for growth. We free up the mental and emotional energy that was tied up in self criticism and redirect it towards personal development and positive change. Let me share a story that illustrates the transformative power of this approach. Diamond worked with a young woman named Sarah who had always dreamed of starting her own business. But Sarah was held back by a fear of failure, rooted in a past experience where a small venture hadn't succeeded. She carried this failure with her, letting it define her capabilities and limit her aspirations. Through her work with Diamond, Sarah learned to reframe that experience. She forgave herself for not knowing everything when she started her first venture. She recognized that what she saw as a failure was actually a valuable learning experience. With this new perspective, Sarah found the courage to start again. Today, she runs a thriving small business and, more importantly, she approaches challenges with confidence, knowing that every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that our past does not define our future. Our mindset does. It's a testament to the transformative power of self forgiveness and a growth mindset. Now, Let's dig deeper into this concept of mindset. Diamond uses a beautiful metaphor that really brings this idea to life. She compares our mindset to a garden. In a fixed mindset, we see our garden as having a set number of plants that can never change. If a plant isn't thriving, we assume it's just not meant to grow in our garden. But in a growth mindset, we see our garden as a living, evolving ecosystem. If a plant isn't thriving, we don't give up on it. Instead, we ask ourselves, what does this plant need to flourish? More sunlight, different soil, more water. We become active participants in our own growth. This metaphor beautifully illustrates the power of a growth mindset. It reminds us that we have the ability to nurture and develop our skills, our relationships, and our lives. We're not stuck with what we have. We can always learn, adapt, and improve. But here's the catch. This kind of growth requires us to step out of our comfort zones. It demands that we face our fears and insecurities head on. And this is where many of us falter. We let our fear of failure, our fear of judgment, our fear of not being good enough hold us back. We stay in our safe, familiar routines, even if they're not serving us well. Diamond challenged this way of thinking with a powerful question. What if the very thing you're afraid of is the thing that will lead you to your greatest growth? It's a question that stops us in our tracks and forces us to reconsider our relationship with fear and discomfort. Think about it for a moment. When was the last time you did something that truly scared you? When was the last time you pushed yourself beyond what you thought you were capable of? These moments of challenge and discomfort are where real growth happens. They're where we discover strengths we didn't know we had, where we develop resilience, where we build true confidence. Let me share another story that brings this point home. Diamond worked with a man named Michael, a talented artist who had always dreamed of showcasing his work in a gallery. But for years, Michael held back, convinced that his art wasn't good enough, that he would be rejected if he put himself out there. With Diamond's guidance, Michael began to challenge these limiting beliefs. He started small, sharing his art online and with friends. Each small step built his confidence. Finally, he took the leap and submitted his work to a local gallery. To his surprise, not only was his work accepted, but it received glowing reviews. The very thing Michael feared, putting his art out into the world, became the catalyst for his growth as an artist and as a person. Michael's story teaches us that our greatest fears often guard our greatest potential. By facing those fears, we open ourselves up to possibilities we never imagined. But here's the beautiful thing: we don't have to take giant leaps all at once. Diamond emphasized the power of small, consistent actions. It's about making a commitment to ourselves every single day to take one step, no matter how small, towards our goals. It's about choosing growth over comfort, progress over perfection. This brings us to another crucial point that Diamond highlighted: the importance of self compassion in this journey of growth. Too often, we're our own harshest critics. We berate ourselves for our mistakes. We dwell on our shortcomings. We set impossibly high standards and then beat ourselves up when we don't meet them. But this kind of self criticism doesn't motivate us to do better. It paralyzes us with fear and self doubt. Instead, Diamond suggests treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a good friend. When we make a mistake or face a setback, instead of launching into self criticism, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? This shift in perspective can be truly transformative. Let me share a personal story from one of Diamond's clients that illustrates this point beautifully. Lisa was a high achieving professional who held herself to impossibly high standards. Any mistake, no matter how small, would send her into a spiral of self criticism and doubt. This perfectionism was not only affecting her mental health, but also holding her back in her career. Through her work with Diamond, Lisa learned to practice self compassion. She started to treat herself with the same kindness she would show a friend or colleague. When she made a mistake, instead of berating herself, she would ask, what can I learn from this? This simple shift had a profound impact. Lisa found herself taking more risks at work, volunteering for challenging projects she would have previously avoided for fear of failure. Her performance improved, and more importantly, she found a sense of joy and fulfillment in her work that had been missing before. Lisa's story shows us that self compassion isn't just about feeling good, it's a powerful tool for growth and achievement. When we free ourselves from the paralysis of perfectionism, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences. Now, I want to address something that might be coming up for some of you. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but my circumstances are different. I have real obstacles in my way. Just saying, and you're right. We all face unique challenges and barriers in our lives. But what Diamond emphasized is that while we can't always control our circumstances, we can always control our response to them. This is where the power of choice comes in. Every day, we have the opportunity to choose our mindset, to choose how we respond to challenges, to choose whether we're going to let our fears hold us back or use them as fuel for growth. It's not about denying the reality of our situations, but about recognizing that we have more power than we often give ourselves credit for. Diamond shared a powerful exercise that can help us tap into this power of choice. She suggested starting each day by asking ourselves, what kind of person do I want to be today? What actions can I take that align with my values and goals? This simple practice can help us shift from a reactive mode where we're at the mercy of our circumstances to a proactive mode where we're actively shaping our lives. Let me share a story that illustrates the transformative power of this approach. Diamond worked with a man named David who had lost his job during an economic downturn. David was devastated and felt powerless in the face of circumstances beyond his control. He was stuck in a cycle of negativity and self pity. Diamond challenged David to focus on what he could control. Each morning, David would ask himself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What actions can I take that align with my values and goals? Even on days when he felt discouraged, David committed to taking one small action, whether it was learning a new skill, reaching out to a professional contact, or volunteering in his community. Over time, this daily practice transformed David's outlook and his circumstances. He developed new skills that made him more marketable. He expanded his professional network, and perhaps most importantly, he regained his sense of purpose and self worth. When a new job opportunity finally came along, David was not only ready for it, he was a stronger, more resilient person than he had been before. David's story reminds us that even in our darkest moments, we always have the power to choose our response. It's this power of choice that can turn our challenges into opportunities for growth. But let's be real for a moment. This journey of personal growth and self discovery isn't always easy. There will be days when we falter, when our old patterns of thinking try to reassert themselves, when self doubt creeps in. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's a natural part of the process. Diamond emphasized the importance of embracing these moments of struggle rather than seeing them as failures. Every time we face a challenge and choose to persist, every time we confront a fear and take action anyway, we're building our resilience muscle. We're proving to ourselves that we're capable of more than we thought possible. This brings us to a crucial point: the role of community in our personal growth journey. While the work of developing a growth mindset and living with purpose is ultimately personal, we don't have to do it alone. In fact, surrounding ourselves with supportive, like minded individuals can accelerate our growth and provide us with the encouragement we need when things get tough. Diamond suggested seeking out mentors, joining supportive communities, and being willing to both give and receive support. When we share our journey with others, we not only gain valuable insights and perspectives, but we also create a sense of accountability that can keep us moving forward. Let me share one final story that brings this point home. Diamond worked with a group of entrepreneurs who were all struggling with similar challenges: self doubt, fear of failure, and the isolation that often comes with striking out on your own. Instead of working with them individually, Diamond brought them together in a supportive community. The transformation was remarkable. These entrepreneurs began to share their struggles and successes. They celebrated each other's wins and provided support during setbacks. They challenged each other to think bigger and take bolder actions. The energy of the group amplified each individual's growth. One member of the group, a woman named Rachel, had been struggling to launch her business for months, paralyzed by perfectionism. Inspired by the courage of her peers and supported by their encouragement, Rachel finally took the leap. Not only did she successfully launch her business, but she also became a source of inspiration and support for others in the group. This story illustrates the power of community in our personal growth journey. When we surround ourselves with people who believe in us, who challenge us to be our best selves, we can achieve things we never thought possible. As we near the end of our time together, I want to circle back to where we started, the idea of living a confident, purposeful life. What Diamond helped me understand is that true confidence isn't about never feeling fear or doubt. It's not about being perfect or having it all figured out. True confidence comes from knowing that no matter what challenges we face, we have the ability to learn, grow, and overcome. It comes from forgiving ourselves for our past mistakes and choosing to see them as valuable lessons rather than defining failures. It comes from living on purpose, making conscious choices every day that align with our values and goals. And perhaps most importantly, it comes from embracing our vulnerability and using it as a source of strength and connection. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge, a call to action inspired by my conversation with Diamond Harris. I want you to commit to one small action that pushes you out of your comfort zone. It could be having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding, signing up for that class you've always wanted to take, or simply reaching out to someone you admire for guidance. Whatever it is, choose something that scares you a little. And as you take that step, remember that growth and discomfort often go hand in hand. Embrace the uncertainty, learn from the experience, and use it as fuel for your continued growth. Remember, you are capable of so much more than you might believe right now. You have the power to shape your mindset, to forgive yourself, to live with purpose and on purpose. You have the ability to create a life filled with confidence, authenticity, and meaningful connection. The world is waiting for the unique gifts that only you can bring. So go out there, embrace your journey, and shine your light brightly. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. You've got this. In the words of Diamond Harris, your past does not define your future. Your mindset does. Let these words be your guiding light as you step into a future of unlimited potential. Now, I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine the person you want to become, the life you want to create, the impact you want to have on the world. That vision, it's not just a dream, it's a possibility waiting to be realized. So I ask you, what will you do today to step closer to that vision? What limiting belief will you challenge? What fear will you face? What act of self compassion will you practice? The journey of personal growth is not always easy, but I promise you it's worth it. Every challenge you overcome, every fear you face, every time you choose growth over comfort, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the world. Because when we show up as our best selves, we inspire others to do the same. You have within you the power to create ripples of positive change that extend far beyond your own life. Your growth, your courage, your authenticity can be the catalyst that inspires others to embrace their own journeys of transformation. So go forth with confidence. Embrace your vulnerability as a strength. Forgive yourself for past mistakes and see them as stepping stones to growth. Live each day with purpose and intention. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and challenge you to be your best self. And remember, in those moments when self doubt creeps in, when the journey feels tough, you are not alone. There is a community of fellow travelers on this path of personal growth, ready to support you, encourage you, and celebrate your victories. You are standing at the threshold of unlimited potential. The only question is, are you ready to step through? Are you ready to embrace the fullness of who you can become? The world is waiting for you. Your future self is calling. Answer that call with courage, with determination, and with the unshakable belief that you are capable of extraordinary things. Your journey of transformation starts now. Take that first step, and then the next, and the next. Before you know it, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. You are the author of your own story. Make it a masterpiece. Make it a story of courage, of growth, of purpose. Make it a story that inspires and uplifts not just you, but all those whose lives you touch. The power is in your hands. The time is now. Your extraordinary life is waiting. Go out there and claim it. Thank you